What if I told you that the difference between the life you are living now and the life you dream about, freedom, peace, a sense of arrival, can be traced, strand by strand, to the choices you make about money? What if your net worth is not just a number on a page, but a mirror reflecting back to you every risk, restraint, and reckless leap you have ever taken? I have always felt, deep in my bones, this restlessness, the longing to break out of patterns, to set fire to old habits and watch new ones bloom from the ashes. Maybe you have felt it too. Today, I want to share not just strategies, but confessions, real ways to grow your net worth, fast, this very year. These lessons were not gathered from textbooks or corporate lectures, but from the sleepless nights, quiet triumphs, and all the uncertain mornings that make up the texture of a lived financial journey. Before we dive into the real substance, take a breath with me. If you find something in these words, if you see yourself reflected here on this channel, Crypto 101 Central, I invite you to subscribe. This journey is not something to take alone. Tap the bell too. Let the echo of these ideas ring out when new stories are told and new lessons are shared. Let us begin. Method number 1. The so-called 1% rule. It is brutal, honest, and at first, it tastes like discipline for its own sake. Yet in time, it becomes a gentle hand on your shoulder. Here's how I have come to see it. Imagine looking at every discretionary purchase and asking yourself, does this expense exceed 1% of my total net worth? For example, if your net worth rests at $20,000, think twice before surrendering $200. If you have $50,000, pause before you release $500. Each time you cross that threshold, it is not just money leaving your account, it is the future being traded for a fleeting now. Sometimes I picture every purchase as a pebble dropped into the vast lake of my financial life. The ripples are slow at first, but they spread, and with enough pebbles, the whole lake is stirred into chaos. The math is unforgiving. Imagine buying something for $200 each and every month. By the end of a year, you have traded away $2,400, which is 12% of that $20,000 net worth. Over 4 decades, the small, quiet leak in your financial boat could cost you a staggering $671,474. This rule begs you to think twice, especially if your net worth is below $100,000. Early in your journey, every dollar is uphill, every gain hard-fought. Over time, as you cross $100,000 or even $200,000, you may choose to relax, if by then reflection and restraint are already woven into who you are. Method number 2 cuts even deeper. Disconnect your time from your money. My thoughts echo in the night. How many hours, strung together like pearls, have I given away for wages instead of building something of my own? Even those earning hundreds of dollars an hour can find their wealth vanishing, their lives entangled in lifestyle inflation. Naval Ravikant says you will never get rich renting out your time. The path to real growth is equity, owning a share of the business, or building something where your earnings depend on the magnitude of your effort, not the minutes you clock in. I think of a realtor selling a house worth $3 million instead of $1 million. Yet the work isn't that different. The reward, though, changes the entire shape of their year. This is not for everyone. Some of us are machines of drive. Others bloom best in the structure of routine. You must know yourself. Still, if you want your net worth to ignite, you must find or create income streams where effort and outcome are untethered from the strictures of the clock. Number 3, invest every windfall. Bonuses, refunds, the chance stumble into money, a gift from fate. Every time, the urge to spend is immediate, a flash in the bloodstream. I will confess, I am hardly immune, so I've learned to split the difference. Take a tenth, enjoy it, make it visible. But the other 90%, it goes straight away, invested before I can reconsider, before fleeting pleasures find a way to consume it. Imagine, over 20 years, investing just $2,700 from a $3,000 annual refund. That one act, repeated, grows to $133,000. A quiet, steady miracle. A slow dawn breaking. Number 4, grow the gap between what you earn and what you spend. It is so simple in words, yet an act of rebellion in practice. Perhaps you switch jobs, seeking out companies with more than 500 employees where on average the jump is 15%. Or maybe the switch is smaller, but even there, a 5 or 6% bump is yours for the taking. Companies are not built to reward loyalty with riches. The market rate is never what you are currently paid, but what someone new is willing to accept. Sometimes, a stranger doing the same job as you will earn 20 or 30% more, simply because their negotiation began at a higher level. And if income stays the same, you can conspire against your own expenses, track them all, interrogate each line with merciless clarity, and cut the excess until your spending is lean. Alternatively, sharpen your skills, learn something rare, something marketable, and watch your salary leap. Data analytics, programming, digital marketing, or trades, each is a door. I have seen people double their income in 1 year just by picking up new skills in relentless pursuit, evening after evening, weekend after weekend. If these words spark even a flicker of recognition in you, drop a like. Let your engagement be its own act of accountability. One more step toward the life you want. Share your thoughts in a comment below. How have you struggled with your own net worth? What victories do you carry quietly inside you? Number 5. Track your net worth like you would a fragile secret. 2 out of 3 people never even tally it up, never add the numbers, subtract the debts, face the truth. But I have noticed a strange magic happens when you pay attention. Where your attention goes, your energy follows. Is it possible the universe itself conspires with those who count, who care, whose eyes do not flinch from difficult truths? I have built my own net worth tracker, refined year after year. For a time, I tracked it each month, yet I found the process too intense, the obsession a little sharp around the edges. Now I track it every quarter, letting time blur the little setbacks. Spotlight the long arcs of growth and pain. 6. Control your lifestyle velocity. The world will tell you, when your income rises, your happiness will too. But I have felt how easily pleasure becomes routine. Abundance, a prison. The new car, costing over $11,577 a year. The house, whose upkeep swallows $21,400. The trip overseas, gulping nearly $10,000. All these things begin as rewards, but soon anchor you right where you are. Stability demands that, as wind fills your sails, you keep your course steady. Let your lifestyle lag one step behind your earnings. Seek meaning not in things, but in moments, in sunrise conversations and shared laughter, in time spent well. The 7th way. Maximize your tax efficiency. Most people lose thousands without even seeing it slip away. Dollars that vanish before ever reaching their hands. 3 strategies can change everything. First, take full advantage of your employer's 401k match. In 2026, you can contribute up to $24,500 each year before age 50. $32,500 after. For individual retirement accounts, the ceilings are $7,500 and $8,600 respectively, depending on your age. Every dollar in a traditional retirement account dodges taxes today and compounds, free of friction, for decades. Second, use these retirement accounts to shield your gains. Every time you sell a stock in a taxable account, the taxman waits. But inside a 401k or IRA, you move your money freely. Buying, selling, rebalancing without the government reaching in, year after year. Even better, the Roth IRA offers returns that grow entirely tax-free for those who want to play the long game. Finally, tax loss harvesting. It sounds technical, but is the quiet act of losing investments to offset your wins. By doing this, you can reduce your tax bill dramatically, simply by being attentive and willing to let go when the market says it's time. Number 8. Negotiate everything. I once watched a friend haggle for a better price on a piece of fish, and while that lesson was extreme, it stuck with me. Everything in life is negotiable, including your salary, your bills, your future. Yes, negotiation is uncomfortable. A cold sweat, a pause on the phone. But imagine this. Pushing for just $5,000 more, saying the words out loud, then walking away with $59,000 extra over your working life, as even small annual raises compound. You need to know three things: what you really want, what you can accept, and what you will do if you hear no. Sometimes, just by making a few short calls each year to your insurer, your utilities provider, you can save hundreds, even thousands, buying yourself months of freedom. Number 9. Automate everything. Trust me, human willpower is a fragile, slippery thing. I used to trust myself to transfer money manually each payday, only to watch as temptation ran ahead of intention. Now, everything is automated. Utilities, rent or mortgage, credit cards, savings, investments. Each bucket fills itself. Rainwater in a set of barrels, and there is peace in the routine. What you do not see in your checking account, you cannot spend. Simplicity is radical, automation is freedom. Number 10. Feed your financial literacy as if it were a hungry child. Every book, every podcast, every story shared in quiet places, each adds a layer, a new vantage point, a deeper well of wisdom. The return on learning is infinite, compounding in ways even the best investments cannot replicate. Each new insight nests inside the last, growing stronger, broader, sharper. It is free, usually, or almost, and it is the single surest investment, guaranteed to yield dividends for as long as you draw breath. If you have found resonance here, I hope you will subscribe, not just for techniques, but for the courage to imagine your life made new. Watch the next video, right here, where I share my 10 best tips for getting ahead of 99% of people. And never forget to ring the bell. Let yourself be reminded that change is not a one-time act, but a dance of 1,000 steps. Until then, take care. Chase what matters. And let your net worth become not just your measure, but your story.